Easily, you are manipulated.
These two circles are not equal. I repeat, these two circles are not equal. One is in fact larger than the other. What I need you to do is determine which one that is. So, please raise your hand if you believe the blue circle is larger than the red. Alright. Please raise your hand if you believe the red circle is larger than the blue. Alright, very good. Now, before I said anything about these two circles, what was your first instinct? Equal, right? Because they look equal. And the reason why they look equal is because in fact they are equal. These two circles are identical. Yet I got just about every one of you to raise your hand and say that they're not. So what did we learn? That you can be manipulated like that to believe in something that goes against your natural instincts. Just imagine as a child you're taught that the blue circle is larger than the red. If you say it enough times, you convince yourself that's the truth. If you're told the lie enough times, it becomes part of your reality. And if enough people are taught that lie, that the blue circle is larger than the red, well, now it becomes part of the culture. And if that culture then passes that misinformation along to the next generation, well, now it becomes tradition. And what we have to remember is that just because we have a tradition doesn't mean it's morally acceptable. Tradition and morality are not always the same.
Canyon, there's a lost Egyptian civilization and it's gonna blow your mind. Canyon, there's a lost Egyptian civilization and it's gonna blow your mind.
Canyon, there's a lost Egyptian civilization and it's gonna blow your mind.
Bushes we looking at today. Just like America is really ancient Egypt. Just like you could walk to Africa from America too, through the Grand Canyon. Bushes we looking at today. Just like America is really ancient Egypt. Just like you could walk to Africa from America too, through the Grand Canyon.
Yo, it's Viral Industries, and we're back again with another quick video. So I wanted to talk today about the reason why in 1963, and it might seem like a very long time ago, but it really wasn't that long ago. I want to say at the most 60 years ago. In 1963, they started to purge the Bible, primarily the Bible, out of the public school. So the reason they purged the Bible out of the public school is because then the children, they would actually read the Bible and actually have to take tests on the Bible. So then they would find out quickly that Christ was a black man, what they would call quote unquote black, which is really the original Jew, the real Jew. They would find that out through Revelations chapter 1 verse 14. So Revelations chapter 1 verse 14 through 15, they'll find that out, you know, what Christ looked like it was burnt in a fire. Like, they'll start to read this stuff, and it's like the awakening I got like a couple months ago, or last year, a couple months ago. That's the awakening they would have, that we would have, but sooner if we were told the truth. So that's why they always say religion. Well, that's your religious belief. All of that came from them finding out that the Bible has nothing to do with them. See, they think that Christ came to save everyone, but it clearly states in Matthew that he came to save the lost children of Israel. He came to save the lost children of Israel, and it's that simple. Because if they nations believed in Christ, they would give up, because they know it's harder for a rich man to get into heaven. So they would give up everything that they stolen, give up all of the land, give up all, because all of this stuff was built off of murder. All of this stuff was built off of stealing. And people just think like, oh, la-di-da-di-da. That's why we literally have women and simps bowing down to their oppressor in my community. Seriously. This is the reason why. Because they like, well, we lost the fight. There's nothing we could do about it. Bow down to the white man. Because the way the school system is set up. Go look at the last video I'll put up with Trump as the cover photo. It'll literally show you, bro. At the end of the video, the lady will tell you, like, these people lie. Like, they social studies and stuff. Like, that's a big part of school. It's not just math and science. Excuse me. It's not just math and science. It's also history, social studies. But if you keep lying to us and keep telling us stuff from like the 1900s and shit, and you tell us a little bit about the 1700s and 1800s, like, you're not really telling us everything, and then you're not really going through the important stuff, like where we was at before we got here. So now you got a bunch of black kids in school learning gibberish. We all learned that somebody came here and discovered something that people was already here. People was already here. From what I'm seeing now, thousands of years. People are trying to say the Ark of the Covenant is in the Grand Canyon. People are saying if you go down in the Grand Canyon and you go up under there and you walk through, and there's tunnels and stuff down there, they got all types of agents and security, I should say, and just army personnel type people down there guarding it, because they know if you walk through some of them tunnels they had, you'll end up in Egypt and shit. Like, seriously, like, people don't understand, bro. Like, everything that you see is not what you see. Like, and everything that you hear is not what you hear. These people be lying to you. They've been lying to you your whole life. How would you believe your oppressor? How would you go to school and believe some people that killed your people for years and years and years? It's so easy to manipulate people. How would you just believe that? If you read Hebrews chapter 7 verse 14, you'll find out that Jesus was a Jew. If you read Revelation chapter 1 verse 14 through 15, you'll find out that Jesus was black. So Jesus is a black man and he's Jew. Simple. So they had to take that out of schools, because if the black kids find out that they are Christ, they come from Christ's lineage, then what can they say? They're supposed to be a country under God, but you came here killing people. God never said go and steal people's stuff and go and kill them and literally murder them and rape them and oppress them. God never said that. It's just a cover up to keep you. It's to keep you in your shell and keep you feeling like you can't do nothing. And then people say, oh, he's race baiting, he's this and that. No, it's just the truth. They race baited. They said you were black and you're not, and they said they were white and they're not. They race baited you. They took the truth out of school. So when they said we're taking quote unquote religion out of school, they really took your history out of school, and they said the Bible is a religion. Like, nah, bro, that's not how it works. These people don't see. These people stole your belief system because they don't have a belief system. Tell them pale folks that Christ is black. They don't go, well, I don't care, because deep down inside they don't have a belief system. So if it doesn't matter, then we don't need no president. Then we don't need no flag. We don't need to care about 9/11. We don't need to care about what else? Anne Frank. And this is the type of stuff they teach in school, but they don't want you to care that Christ is black. You see how the contradiction, like, it's a contradiction with these people. And we send our children to these schools and they're not really learning. Now, imagine if these kids learned that they real tradition, they real history. Why would your oppressor teach you your real tradition and your real history? We put too much faith in these people, and we need to put more faith in the Most High God in Israel. A lot of people talk about, the first. And if that's what y'all want to do, then that's what y'all do. And y'all get it done. But it's going to have to come in waves. It's not going to, everybody just not go on one day. Everybody's not going to believe. Everybody doesn't have a belief system. A lot of people are demonic. A lot of people do idolize Joe Biden and Trump and these people. They do. I don't know what y'all want me to say. Like, these people lie. And it starts in the school system, because that's where we all started at. That's where we got our base knowledge from. There's no way that I would literally say 99% of people got out of the school system and being indoctrinated and had to relearn everything. Literally had to relearn everything. They don't care. If you're misinforming people, that's a form of genocide. Because now you manipulating a whole country. You're manipulating a whole country. Seriously. To not know the truth about the country. So if I don't know the truth, if I grew up my whole life and I never knew the truth about who I was never protected, like, mentally, and I don't know my tradition, I don't know none of that stuff, and my people, they grew up the same way. Now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna listen to you. So now when you tell me, oh, it's Christmas break, I'm gonna be like, well, all the kids selling Christmas, all the kids, literally, they're selling Christmas to you. All the kids celebrating Christmas, I'm gonna go celebrate Christmas. Like, you see what I'm saying? I'm gonna go celebrate Halloween. And people believe, now you got groups of kids, literally, man, adults now, my age, older, they believe in these holidays. They believe in demonic holidays. And they'll look at you weird, like, why you not teaching your kids to do this? I'm teaching my kids to do this. All the other kids do this. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, what? Just because the white man told them to do that, and just because the white man said they could get off work for this day and that day, oh, what you doing? And they celebrate it from school, then they celebrate it at work. As you get older, they celebrate that shit at work too. So they bringing their heathenistic ways onto you, but they don't want you to know who you are. Really think about this. They'll teach the kids about Santa, but they don't want to teach the kid a made up fake white man. And a couple, all right, listen to this. If I tell you that there's a Santa, and now you got a child and you teach them about Santa, and they have a child and they have a child. Now your great grandkids, if we keep going in the direction that we going in right now, your great grandkids are going to be serving a white man before serving their real king. They'll never know who the real king was, and they're black. They'll never know who the real king was. That's literally that clone Tyrone shit. They turning black people into white people psychologically. So now you got a whole group, and the people just like, oh, he's race baiting, oh, he's hotepping, and that's a defense mechanism, because you don't want to accept the fact that your truth. It's hard for you to accept the fact your truth. Is easier to just say, nigga, I'm gonna celebrate this because I always did. Maybe you was always wrong, and maybe your people was always wrong, and they didn't know either. Because if you go down a couple of generations before that, nigga, they wasn't even allowed to read. They get killed for reading. They'll get the shit beat out of them for reading. So how would they know? These people, what they want to do is they want to use God in such a selfish way. They want to say that they're going to get salvation from merely loving somebody. That's not how it. That's why Christ said, why is thou calling me good? Like, why are you calling me good? There's only one good, but the Father. He's the only good one. Elohim, the Most High God of Israel. He's the only good one. So if you want to have your kids following these heathenistic ways, I want you to know you're turning them into a demon. Just the, oh, it's Halloween. That means I got to get a costume, Mom, Dad. It's Christmas. That means I'm supposed to get presents, Mom, Dad. It's Valentine's Day. Buy me that. Every month it's a new buy me this, buy me that, buy me this, buy me that. And it's going to turn them into entitled demons. Instead of thinking about what can we do for our family to push our family forward, we thinking about a celebration of a pagan day. Seriously, we should be following the feast days and everything that's in the Bible, but we should be making our own tradition cool. We should be making our own tradition a thing. That's all I'm saying. Like, And what school did, what they did in 1963 by taking the Bible out of the public schools and out of these black schools is they basically abolished the truth. Because that's history. That's history. That's history. I don't care what a Christian or Catholic, I don't care what none of them say. Because they're all liars. They're some of the biggest liars. They're some of the biggest liars, and they know they cannot be a priest to nobody, because if they were, they would be fighting for the advancement of the people that's already been here in America. Think about it. The world was together. It was a big flood. They call it Pangea. They say, the scientists say it's Pangea. I say it's Noah's Ark. Okay? Seriously. Just think about it. The world was together at one point, y'all. It was together. They knew that they could get somewhere from over here. They knew what they was doing. They wasn't idiots. I don't know why people think that people back then were like idiots or something. They weren't idiots, bro. They had more connection to the earth than you do. Oh, I got the internet. I got this. I got that. I got the maps. Who you think came up with the maps, bro? Who you think came up with the maps, bro? Come on. All of them hieroglyphic writings and stuff. And why you think they broke off the nose of the Sphinx and all of these stuff, bro? Because all our people was never dumb. That's why they portray us to the world like that. So they can make it seem like, oh, if it wasn't for us, there would be no civilization. That's the type of vibe they want to give off. If it wasn't for us, and you know who I'm talking about, the Edomites. If it wasn't for us, these Israelite black people would never know how to do it. Like, nah, bro. We would know exactly what we knew before that. Our Jew customs. We would know that stuff. And that's what they don't want you to know. That's what they don't want your kids to know. That's what they didn't want your parents and your ancestors to know. Not even your ancestors, your great-great-great-great-granddaddies and your great-great-great-great-grandmas. They didn't want them to know. Okay? They never wanted you to know that Christ was your ancestor. All right? So, I want y'all to think about that. They don't want the kids to know that Christ was black in school. But they'll rather them know about a fake white man. You better not shout. You better not cry. You better not shout. I'm telling you why. White man Claus is coming to town. What? He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. So you better be good for goodness sake. Like, come on, bro. A kid will tell you that wholeheartedly. Like, yeah, I gotta be good because white man coming to town. Like, boy, don't you know who Christ is? That man has no control over your life. That man that's not even a real person, bro. It's historically proven, archaeologically proven that Christ was here. So that's all I had to say. They lied and they gonna keep lying to protect their genocide. They know they did a hate crime and they know they owe, just like how the Ish people had to get paid after they so-called Holocaust. Pay the so-called black people for their Holocaust. But you know, if you do that, you know that you got to give up a whole lot of land, and you got to give up a whole lot of money. You got to give up a whole lot of power. Ding, 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 ding. You got to give up your power. And you can't do it righteously. So you're kind of like gaslighting us to do it. Peace and blessings.